Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment, your YouTube channel dedicated to helping you get better at Bannerlord through the use of advanced tactics. Today again we have another one of our freestyle series. These series are largely shot live where I'm just sort of narrating on the go, and we encounter unique and interesting battles that I think it's worthwhile showing you some interesting tactics to try in those situations. Alright friends, welcome back again. Another episode today of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to helping you get better at Bannerlord through the use of field command and advanced tactics. And I was trying to bring Gerain to one of my critical cities here, but then it got overwhelmed in siege. Of course, in my late game campaign, we're almost permanently under siege. But we're going to have to relieve the siege at Epicrotia. This is our capital. And then hopefully I can dump a bunch of grain on the peasants, right? Peasants get unhappy when they don't get food. We dump some grain on them. The prosperity goes up, right? We do some circuses. We show them the heads of our defeated enemies. Everybody's happy. So we got a few troops that are injured from our last big brawl. This is not too big of a deal. Can't really tell the size of the force here, but this is a relief. Only fighting one army. Well, the last 2 or 3 fights have been against multiple armies. Yes, 2,206. This is... You can actually see the power meter, so to speak, right above there is almost equal. The enemy has a very slight advantage, and that's because we have higher quality troops. And so can't see where the enemy's starting on this battle screen, so we're just going to presume that we can cross this bridge unless we see the enemy right at the edge of the bridge, and then we'll have a bridge defense or a bridge battle here. Sometimes it sticks the enemy a long ways away in battles like this, so what I typically try to do is rush the bridge until it's obvious you can't do that. I'd like to get across, I'd like to be able to set up. You have a lot more tactical levers you can pull, so to speak. If you get across the bridge, you have some open space to work with. So yeah, they're quite a ways away, so I'm just gonna have everybody follow me here. We'll pull across the bridge. And then, like I typically do in battles like this, where the enemy's present, I see their heavy cav coming our way, is we're going to set up cav screens right here. I'm just going to spread them out, big long lines, right? These are 2 or 3 deep. This is a rare battle. We haven't had a battle like this in a long time where we've actually got a decent amount of troops, because how the game system works, of course, is if you're highly outnumbered, you get a disproportionately smaller army on the field, right? Even after you get reinforcements. Here, you know, we've got 422 troops against 578. 422 seems like a legion compared to what we normally get. So they have some cav inexplicably going across that bridge, and then they have horse archers, a very large group of horse archers here. So our shield wall cav should help, and we're going to fly in here and kill some of these fucks. Behead a few of them, teach them a lesson here. I've got 1 cav corps following me, but of course, yeah, these horse archer boys, they're going to flee. And I see enemies on both sides here. This is very odd. I see a large contingent of the enemy. It looks like they're across the river there. So we're going to continue just to sort of hold our position here until I figure out where the enemy is. It's really strange. There's enemies on all 3 islands. If you know this map at all, maybe you don't know it. There's these river systems that divide these islands. They're separated by bridges. It's a pretty cool map from a tactical perspective because there's so many bridges and things you can do. Yeah, there's cav over there, there's cav here, and look at the enemy. They're in a big vanguard defensive position on the far island. So this island is ours. We're going to sort of conquer this, so to speak. I'm going to move troops over here, and then I think I already have a plan for this. I've had a similar battle to this in the past against Khazate. Obviously, horse archers, this is a different battle, but I think we can pull off some similar tactics here. What I'm about to try is pretty difficult. Like, this is not the kind of thing you're going to want to try to do right away when you first start playing, because what I'm doing is effectively dividing my army, right? I'm breaking kind of cardinal sins of most, war philosophy books. But what I see is the enemy has a bunch of archers set up on that far river. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up archer groups right here. This is my 4th and 5th. Spread them out, and then we're going to give them an infantry group, both to protect them from surprise attacks, but also to block arrows coming across the river right there. I see arrows landing in the dirt here, probably mostly from their horse archers, but they also might be able to hit us with their archer corps all the way across there. The effective range of archers, by the way, is about 200 units. You see the units there. About 200, and what I mean by effective is that's the distance, the maximum distance they can shoot an arrow and actually hit you. Now they're not doing much damage, but they can fire at about that range. All right, so we've got archers over there. I may leave a cav division. What we're going to basically try to do is bait the enemy over here. This cav group, I just moved into a square. This is the third cav. Right? These guys typically play a defensive role. They are basically going to be a meat shield. I want the enemy sort of drawn to them and leaving alone these two units. This is my 6th and 8th. These are my elite troops. They're all high-level companions, high-level family members. They're deadly at range. A lot of these guys have like 300 bow skill. We're going to set them up on this knoll. I've got the other cavalry with me. Look at these fucking cowards. Have a javelin, you fucks. Ah, I killed a guy. Killed him with like a moonshot. All right, so what we're going to do here, here's the strategy, right, for people who are wondering what the fuck I'm doing. We're dividing our army. I have infantry, one group of cav on the other side. Get the fuck out of here. And then I have 2 archer divisions across the bridge, right? Seems strange, but as soon as those archers get there, they're going to start raining holy hell. In fact, they just started to shoot on the enemies that are right here on our side of the island, right? The enemy, they have like a vanguard of, it looks like it's mostly infantry, but I see cav in there, I see horse archers. So look at them shooting. Well, the enemy archers can't really retaliate because they're all the way across the river. Fuck you guys, right? So suddenly they're like panicking because this is not what they expected. They were hoping we would charge their little defensive position there. This is kind of like a kindergartner trying to fight us today, expecting us to do like clown tactics. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be dragging our 2nd cavalry through here. I've got my 6th and 8th units, which are deadly at range. And so the enemy effectively has crossfire here. They can't get to our archers unless they go all the way around. We've got a cav unit in square there. That'll definitely draw their attention, but it's also blocking the bridge. And I have these 2 units, the 6th and 8th, that are going to pound these enemies as they approach where we are here. Now, if they don't attack us, they're going to get hammered by archers from the other side. This is really checkmate, folks. For people who play chess, any kind of strategy game, this is lose-lose for the enemy here. You see their infantry coming, their cav is coming. This is what we want, because now our archers are shooting these fucks in the back from the other side of the island, from the safety of the other side of the island. And of course, the enemy's probably panicking. Like in real life, people wouldn't know what the fuck to do. You can see the death span. They are getting lit up. You can see all the archers or arrows just pouring through there. And what we're effectively going to do is drag our cavalry. We've got this strong block, the 3rd cav basically holding the bridge. The 6th and 8th here, those guys are shooting, so the enemy's in a crossfire. And any time that we need to concentrate attacks on the enemies over here, that's what we're going to do. We're going to attack them with the 6th, 8th, and the 2nd cav all at the same time. And they got some infantry in there right now that's getting mauled. We'll help them out, right? We'll just assist these guys, right? So you just charge right up the ass of this infantry. They're kind of spread out, and now they have Imperial Cataphracts and Banner Knights just running them over from behind, right? There's a handful of guys over here that seem drawn to our little bait ball here. I mean, they have no chance of doing anything to this strong line of cav. Although that guy took a beating before he dropped. But you can see the enemy right there, right? They are firmly in the crossfire. The archers across the way there. And I want to keep an eye on them because the enemy may make a sortie over there. It may send cav or horse archers. But right now, they have an infantry division and 2 archers, right? And those archers are just hammering the enemy. You can see the death spam. Britannian Fiend Champ. Occasionally, there's like a Palatine Guard or one of our other archers. But other than that, all we're trying to do, basically, is continue to feed enemies into this death chamber, right? Their what's it called? Their spawn point, right, is roughly somewhere by the bridge. All we're going to do basically is cycle back and forth while the enemy gets waxed, right? Their enemy basically is totally fucked in this situation. Now, I'm curious where their archers are. I can see them out there, but I can't tell exactly where they are. I don't know if you noticed the setup of how I did that on that ridge on the other side of the island. It's very important, in fact, how I did that. What I did is I put them slightly over the small crest on that ridge. You can kind of see it over there. They're on the other side of it. I think the enemy archers are... It seems like they're on both sides. And so these archers, all we're going to do now is just drag our cavalry right through these guys, right? I can behead a few of these fucks too. And we can just have our cavalry just basically steamroll this... oh shit, they just... Well, there's their spawn, if there's any question, right? They just pour it out of the ground, basically, like 600 troops. So we'll give them a little bit of distance, right? They're in the death chamber here. There's no reason to let these guys even come to grips with our units. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this strategy, in fact, is just to let these guys sort of pick guys off 3 at a time. They're getting all the units that are even getting to this point. By the time they're getting here, they're getting shot in the back by our archers across the way there. Yeah, and I don't see any enemies over there still. It's just nothing but our archers and infantry division, totally protected over there. So at this stage, this is checkmate. The enemy is spawning into a death trap. I have rampaging cavalry, and I can call the 3rd in if I need to, right? I have reinforcements at the ready. I'm just kind of pulling the 6th and 8th back here. I want a little bit more distance, basically, between where the enemy's coming out and where we're stampeding people with our cavalry. But you get the picture by this point, right? I've got a shield wall cav force, 80 strong, following me, and we're just trampling people. The people who don't get trampled get shot in the back. I can still see the arrows whistling over here. And then if they do get to their target, they can't attack this square. They can't touch that square. That might as well be Fort Knox for them, right? They have 0 chance of taking that down. And if they get any further, right, if they're lucky enough to survive all of that gauntlet, then the 6th and 8th Corps right here, some of my absolutely best troops, are just salivating, waiting to get their kills on these fucks too. It's just a wall of green. There's archers right here, so again, we're just going to have our cavalry charge right through here, right? Peasants with arrows, they're just getting obliterated. It's a destructive situation for the enemy. I mean, they're dying so fast, like the screen is just a blur with enemy deaths. And keeping an eye on the far bridge over there. They do have some cav that may be crossing the bridge, but it's not like the other side can't fight, right? It's not like the other side is helpless. They have an infantry corps. In fact, it's the best infantry corps, our 1st infantry, and of course 2 archer divisions. They still have arrows too. I still see Battanian Fiend Champ killed, Asserai Master Archer killed. You know, these guys are still killing these archers. And the enemy can shoot across. Now at this stage, I've moved a cav screen, by the way. I wasn't able to mention that. I do so many moves and I can only talk so fast. What I did is I moved a cav screen, the 3rd, to face these archers. I'm no longer concerned about the threat behind them. I want to have their shields all facing the archers. And I can also have them charge and do what we're doing right now. We can just sort of steamroller through here and kill every single fuck here. Now, where are their enemies? That's what I'm curious right now. I see infantry here. I don't know. I think there should be more enemies than this. If this is it, this was like the fastest 2200 I've ever seen get immolated on the battlefield. Now we're going to reset because I'm assuming there's reinforcements. I can't tell where those archers are. Sometimes the little icons in battles like this is what makes this a difficult tactic. It seems like the enemy might have troops on the other side. Like it actually might have spawned them over there. Oh yeah, they're over there. So we're going to move. What we're going to do is we're going to kite with the archers on the far side. The most important thing right away, I see 187 infantry now bearing down on the enemy. Still got these archers here, right? But these are peon archers at this stage. We can just kill these guys whenever we want. What I want to do is I want to move. So I move those archers away, and we're going to basically go assist them, right? This is a situation where you have to be tactically aware of both sides. We're going to go ahead and put this cav unit back in the square. We could leave the 6th and the 8th there, right? They're still doing their job. They're wiping out those archers. But we're basically fighting now on both fronts. So I'm going to have this 2nd cav corps following me. The Battanian Fiends are starting to get stacked up, which is a problem. They're going to start dying because that's a lot of troops. Now, they look like ragtag troops, but if there's 400 of them like this, they can definitely kill a lot of your troops. So in we fly. Now, yeah, this is a bunch of fucked peasants attacking our Battanian Fiend champs. We're going to cut some of these guys' heads off for their fucking insolence. They got an archer corps here, but this battle's over. We're switching to the two-handed weapon because I'm fucking angry these guys came for my archers. Come on! I mean, this axe is just made for killing archers like this. These guys are lightly armored. Almost every single guy it hits, their arm flies off. They're killed. Oh shit, they got another spawn on the ridge here. It's not really going to matter though at this stage, right? These are very low-level troops. So when I say, oh shit, it's more just me noticing, hey, there's more troops to kill. It's not like we're concerned about losing this battle. You can see the enemy just vaporizing here in front of me. I mean, I just killed 20 guys myself. I'm gonna rip some more arms off. And at this stage, this battle is over, right? This is peasants, this is guys with pitchforks, but guys with size. These guys are absolutely toast. So that was fast and furious. This might be a battle where you want to rewind and check out some of that, some of those tactics. I know it's kind of a blur. I do some videos in slow-mo. I don't want to do too many videos in slow-mo because it does seem unrealistic. But hopefully you get the idea, the principle of this, right? What we're basically doing, dividing our force intentionally in this situation to have archers. Ah, shit, dude. I hate when they run right in front of my javelin throw. My bad, dude. I'll make sure your wife has a nice chateau as a pension. You know, it'll be the enemy's land that we're giving away, but nevertheless, you know, we'll hook her up. Basically, the difficult part of doing the battle that we just did there is that we're fighting effectively on both sides. So a lot of people already struggle to command 5, 6, 7, 8 units on the battlefield at once. And of course, in this battle, we're commanding, you know, 8 units on both sides, right? We're having to pay attention to where the enemy is on both sides, keep an eye on everything. But obviously at this stage, yeah, I've played this game a lot. I'm familiar actually with this whole concept of dividing my forces in this kind of situation. So it wasn't too difficult for me to pull off. So I typically don't show people this. I release every prisoner. Typically I'll gather all the troops they'll give me. That's always nice. Prisoners, you know, you're getting guys that they took prisoner in battles. We'll collect all this loot. At this stage, all I do with loot is just sell it. That's why I have so much money. You know, I'm fighting a huge battle every other day, right? You can see there's another castle here under siege. There's other castles under siege. Almost every time there's a castle under siege, it's 1,000 or 2,000 enemies, right? So you can imagine the amount of money you're making from all the loot. In fact, I run out of cities that can buy it. Right? There's not enough places that have money. So this city was under siege for a while, and look, see, their food is minus 88, right? So what I need to do, this city has food itself. Where's this shit? Yeah, so it has a huge stock of grain, a huge stock of fish, and what I'm going to do is basically dump some of this food on the peasants so they quit starving. The garrison doesn't starve, and it restores prosperity. You see the prosperity of 15,000, right? So this is my citadel, and I routinely hoard food and then dump it on the peasants like this to increase prosperity. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. This is definitely a unique battle. We'll continue to make episodes showing these types of unique battles as they happen, and I'll see you again next time, friends.